But if this is your first time here, I'm Big Bobby. But you, my friend, can call me the Tingle Junkie. This is KEWL After Dark. Whenever I come up with an idea, or I've had too much coffee and I'm crazy, I'm going to come on here and make you a video. So this is After Dark. Back to the program. So I wanted to talk to you guys today. Let me move that, sorry for the noise. About shooting wall art. Wall art. Now, what happens is, come on. What happens is that I'm still getting, so what happens is that I'll get commissioned to shoot wall art. Stuff that hangs, okay. I've talked about the brewery. Now, when I'm doing the campaign for the brewery, the beer place, one of the add-ons I use is wall art. Some of those, matter of fact, in all of them, I always offer wall art. Now, in my day job, it's about water. One of the companies is about water, processing water, drinking water, gray water, drainage water, purifying it, making it better. So, what I do for a lot of their stuff is, well, a couple times a year, is I'll go up to Lake Tahoe during the winter. The snow's out. That's why my company truck is 4-wheel drive. I'll go up to Lake Tahoe, get custom shots of the lake when the snow's out and there's ice. And I'll go up there and I'll sit with my camera and I'll get a sunrise shot and a sun going down shot. Same with places like Monterey, Santa Cruz, that's Big Sur, now these seem kind of boring, but they're really not. These are some of the things that I know I keep talking about it. I know I keep talking about it. I keep talking about I'm going to take you guys with me. And I'm gonna, but just listen real quick for a second. Okay, so here is why I love doing these so much. For instance, we go to Tahoe. I take you guys to Tahoe with me. We do a sunrise shot. We do a sunset shot. I'm going to go up and scout where I'm at to make sure it's not like another one I've done before. And I don't know if you guys, how many of you guys have been to Emerald Bay, because the water's emerald colored and it's cool. Capital KEWL, cool. The water is. So I'll go up there and get a shot of that water. And they'll use that in advertisement for, just a generic shot talking about water. I have taken shots of water fountains in the Capitol and sprinkler parks in Portland, Oregon, and San Jose for these big, and Reno, these big water sprinkler parks that come on for art for them to have for water to use as a generic. Now, here's what's super interesting to me when I retire. Ron, the guy that I was his roadie for a couple of years, worked for free, that pretty much taught me everything I know. He used to go to these art shows. And I don't know if I've ever talked about this before, but these art shows. And I'll get back to the story because I'm jumping around. My ADD brain's crazy. But he would go to these art shows, and this is what I want to do. I want to go to these art shows after I retire, print big prints up, rent a booth, and not sell anything. That's what I thought anyways when I was with him. We go to these shows, you print these prints up, you barely make enough money to pay for the booth and everything that you had there. Why do you love going to these? I've learned that I love going to these too now. After I got to a certain age, I understood the camaraderie, being around the other artists that aren't photographers, getting ideas. And I used to think, and I know I've sidetracked a little bit. I used to think it was a waste of time. You make these pictures, barely make enough money to pay for the booth space. But the secret I got from it is being around other artists, hearing ideas. That's where the money's made. Because every time I go to one of these shows, and I just drink coffee and spend money there. That's all I do. We get together for breakfast. We talk about ideas. Everybody's got ideas. And it gets my mind. It gets me. Hang on. That's the ASMR part of it. Yeah. It gets my mind moving, thinking about other stuff. The most important thing, if you are doing video, pictures, or even sound, because I'm going to go back to the sound part, is being around like-minded people. Yeah, some of them are weird. It's not saying I'm not weird, but some of them are weird. Some of them, but the ideas you get, just not stealing, not copying, but just the ideas. You get a chance to work with other people too also. There has been instances where I've went and shot a pottery dude. There's at all these shows, there's always a pottery dude. I've been actually went up and shot him doing pottery that he uses. I didn't make a lot of money out of it, but the ideas I got and the practice I got, it paid for itself 20-fold. And I didn't realize this when I was young, going to these shows with Ron. I didn't realize that. Now I'm an old ass man and I'm going, duh. So I'll get back to the shooting the stuff. But so the message here is, for this part, this little segue, it doesn't matter if it's these little shows, drinking coffee, having breakfast, having lunch, dinner, or if you're going to NAB, getting around like-minded people helps create ideas. If you're an accountant, if you're a mechanic, it doesn't matter. If you get around other like-minded peoples and you talk a little bit of shop, that's worth its weight in gold. Just saying. Now I'm going to go back to, so now that you understand, and I went off on my rant about yes, and I'm using the cool mic, about using how I get commissioned for wall art. Coffee shops. I do a lot of coffee shops. I did I did the Kona coffee shop, Kona Royale, and I shot the wall art of different places of the island for them. And then I did some of it kind of like the Evil Empire, Starbucks. I shot some of their bean making and stuff and made it wall art to put in their coffee shops in Kona, Hawaii. That I keep getting that plosive from when I breathe out. Sorry. I'll duck my head from now on. I'll duck my head. Sorry. But when I go take these are some of the most concentrated, the most mentally draining photos I take are taking some of these photos. So a lot of these photos I take back and I will go and I will rent my booth and go to these shows. These photos I've taken for my day job and work because they're mine. And I'll sell them there too also. Don't sell many of them, remember. The point is to be around other crazy-ass people like me. That's the point. So, I almost slipped back in again. But for you guys to go with me, this is some of the most mentally draining stuff I do. I set a camera up, I mark it off in the same place, I take some pictures in the morning, and then I sit there for hours to get another picture or go to another space and get another shot and then come back and put that in the exact same place. And there's a whole way to do that. And then sitting there for hours. What I noticed is, sitting there for hours, well, I noticed this years ago, there's a lot of these sounds. I went and shot Yosemite, in the middle of the winter. I didn't go shoot it for anybody. I went and shot it for me, to take to some of these shows. So it snowed. There's my airplane. It snowed in Yosemite, and I decided to go when it was snowing years ago. Got some awesome shots. Not a lot of people around, some. But as I'm sitting there, waiting for the sun to move, I shoot it over here. I'm waiting for it to move over here so I can get a different shot. The sounds I heard, the silence makes a sound. Silence does make a sound. And it's a relaxing, very calming, zen-like sound. Can you hear it? Can you hear my airplane? Let me see if it's coming on my mic. Oh, there it is. I'll see what I can do about getting it out. But again, I live on a lake, and they come down with these airplanes, and they do these things around the lake. Sometimes it's a helicopter, and it's a search and rescue practicing different things. It only happens when They only schedule these for when I'm recording. I don't know what it is. Because this right now is, I'm recording this at about 8:30 in the morning. And usually there's nothing going on out there till noon. But today, that's a car. Nope, that's a helicopter. So, anyways, with no more delay with the helicopter in there, when I go out shooting these, pictures, even though it's mentally draining, it's some of the most relaxing time. I'm sitting there, I hear these interesting noises, these stuff. So I started recording these interesting noises and using them for stock audio clips because they're interesting. I mean, when I was in Yosemite doing that, when the snow would come down, it would make these noises, and I'm sitting out there in the snow for hours. There's a stone bridge and a field with a tree in it. I don't know, it might be wood. And the sun comes down, and Half Dome is right there. Yeah, I know everybody shot that, but I was shooting it for a reason. And it was snowing, so there's snow everywhere. But the sounds, the little brook going underneath, you could just hear it with nothing interfering. It was weird. Not weird, but I mean comfortable weird. It was like, oh my gosh, I've been to Yosemite 1,000 times. My wife and I go every year. It's a beautiful place. The one time I went when it was packed with snow, I needed a 4-wheel drive to get in there and permits, was probably the best time I've ever had in Yosemite. Probably the most picturesque time. I mean, it is absolutely beautiful with all that snow. But because of me hearing these sounds, I go, you guys probably want to hear these sounds. So what I'm getting at, because it's taken me forever, and I'm probably going to take this part and put in the front and cut into it again. So what I'm getting at is I'm getting pretty close, and I know I've said this before, to taking you guys with me. And I wanted to give an explanation, a theory, so you guys know where I'm coming from. I'm going to take these pictures. Some of them are for my day jobs. Some of them are going to be for when I retire. I want to sell them, but not really sell them. Again, when we used to go to these shows, Ron's the guy that was my mentor, kind of. He's passed away now, but he was my mentor. I couldn't understand why he went. I mean, $400 for a booth, thousands of dollars to have the pictures made. He might make $400, $500 in sales. I just couldn't understand why he did this. Now that I'm older, I understand. I go to him now when they have the one in Tahoe. I get so many great ideas from that I transfer to work just from being with like-minded people. So no matter what you do, if you're a landscaper, an accountant, a mechanic, you can bring creativity into anything you do if you're creative, just by being around like-minded people. That is what I had to say today. So now I'm going to go back and drink another pot of coffee. And I want to thank you guys for being here. If you want to participate, be involved, buy me a coffee. Or become a member. This is After Dark. We'll talk to you later.